Anupama 28th January 2024 voice episode, voice update on VoiceBloom. Anupama is in shock after hearing Toshu's misbehavior. Kinjal cries and says, I am sorry mummy. Anupama says, I'm sorry beta, I should have slapped him and corrected him in his childhood. She says if I was old Anupama then would have cried, but nothing can break her now. Yashdeep says Anupama is a mother, if her children ignores her, then if she will bear the pain. VG asks if you like someone and says till now you used to talk about army. She says she got everything, but didn't get bahus and grandchildren. Yashdeep says you are talking such things in this age, and says he has to sleep, as tomorrow is the meeting with the organizer for the stall in the event. VG asks if Anu is also going and takes off the bad side from them. Yashdeep says don't do it. VG says she is worried for Anupama. Yashdeep says she is a tigress. Anupama asks Kinjal to stand for her self-respect and don't get rammed under husband's feet. Being silent is not always patience, but weakness, and what you are teaching to your daughter, to bear the torture silently. She says if you can't stand for yourself then stand for your daughter at least. VG informs Yashdeep about some customers Shruti and someone coming to meet Anupama and was calling her Joshi Ben. Yashdeep says they might be missing food made by her. Vanraj comes home and hears the kids playing, and Ishani and Mahi calling Ansh as the cheater. Pakhi asks Vanraj to talk to Babuji about the tower and reminds that she has share in it. He goes to Babuji. Ba gives him sweets brought by Babuji. Just then Ansh throws ball at Vanraj and puts the blame on Mahi. Mahi apologizes to Vanraj and says Ansh did it by mistake and says sorry papa. Vanraj shouts at her and tells that he is not her papa. Kavya comes there and asks how you are talking to her. Vanraj asks her to tell her truth. Kavya says no. Anupama comes to the kitchen and cleans the messed up kitchen and prays to Ma Annapurna. She then makes breakfast. Kinjal comes there and tells that home also smiles when mother comes and thanks her, says this means a lot to me. She says sorry for cleaning the mess. Anupama asks why sorry and asks her to sit. She gives her tea and poha and asks her to eat. Kinjal says for the first time someone made breakfast for me and thanks her for the peaceful morning. She drinks tea and asks if the mattress was comfortable. Anupama tells that she has to sleep on the road when she came here, so if she gets the mat and shelter to sleep then also she thanks Kanhaji and sleep. Kinjal thinks sorry, I did wrong. She gets a call from her employer and tells him that there was a family emergency. He ends the call. Anupama assumes what happened. Kinjal tells that she had forgotten to submit the project yesterday and says if she loses her job then how she will pay all the bills, rent and Pari's fees. She thinks how to make boss understand. Anupama asks her to calm down and go to office and talk to boss face to face. She asks her to return soon as she has to go for meeting and can't risk her job. She thinks to make the list of the things needed. Anuj asks Shruti to join him later and tells that he is going for the meeting arrangements. He sees the pamphlet in which today is the lucky day is written. Pari comes to hall and hugs Anupama. She asks where is mummy? Anupama says she has gone out. She asks if she will have poha. Pari says yes. Toshu comes there holding his head and says Kinjal, give me coffee. He looks at Anupama and recalls his conversation with Kinjal. A FP is shown. He tells Kinjal that the woman shall not be here in the morning. Kinjal says okay, I will not meet her or talk, but you have to work, take care of Pari and handle home. She asks him to bring nanny as I can't do it. He says this is America and servants has to be paid per hour. She asks him to do work then. She tells that if mummy stays here then she will take care of Pari and says we need her and she needs us. She says you don't agree to return to India. She says if mummy stays here, then we can focus on our work. FB ends. Anupama asks Pari to brush her teeth and says I will make your breakfast. Toshu tries to touch her feet and apologizes for being rude. Anupama says I can't forgive you, if Kanha can forgive you then can forgive you. She asks him to respect his wife and don't come drunk in front of Pari. Toshu leaves from home. Anupama says he went. She says she has to go for meeting and calls Kinjal, but she doesn't pick the call. She sends Yashdeep to send the address. Anuj comes for the meeting and sees the shop board with Anuja written and thinks of Anupama. Song plays, Kinjal comes home. Anupama leaves. Kinjal thinks she will get her back. Anuj thinks it seems Joshi Ben didn't come. Anupama thinks everyone has to handle their own relations as work is my everything now. Anuj and Yashdeep meet each other and introduce themselves. Anuj thinks if his mother didn't tell him that we went to his house. He says it is good that you didn't withdraw from the event. Yashdeep tells that his team asked him not to withdraw and tells that they said that it will give him a chance to grow. Anupama is in the taxi and asks the driver to drive fast. Anuj asks if we will do the meeting alone. Yashdeep says his team is coming here and says sorry for making him wait. Anuj says he came a bit early. Yashdeep says even I, being a retired army man. Anuj gets impressed. They get poetic and mingle well. Anupama asks the driver to stop on the way as it is stuck in traffic. He asks for $50. Anupama pays him and starts walking. Anuj talks about his love in a poetic way. Anupama comes there and looks at the shop board and sees Anuj written. The song plays, she then sees Anuja written. Anuj tells that she is my life, identity and the dream, I want to see her once. Anupama says I am coming. Anuj completes his poetry. Yashdeep says if such love comes in my life then I will fall in love with her. Anuj says there is nobody like her. He asks if he has fallen in love. Yashdeep says no. Anuj says our love is in your heart and is peeping from your eyes. He says let's talk about work. Yashdeep says let our chef comes there. Anupama is coming there. She looks at Anuj's back and recalls Devika's words. She tries to see his face. She then comes near and folds her hands to greet them. Something falls. Anuj bends down to pick it and his heart beats faster. He realizes she is there and turns to her. He sees Anupama. Anupama recalls all the moments with her. Yashdeep thinks if they know each other. Anupama gets tears in her eyes. Anuj gets emotional too.